this election is so fucked up that it's got really quieted down, huh? After the last fucking debate, if that's what the fuck you want to call it. My big thing this year is I want to know, it's just fucking lose-lose. It's fucking lose-lose at the thing. And you know something, as much as I've been sitting here fucking saying, you know, Trump's a fucking racist and blah, 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 blah. It's just like, well, you know, the Clintons are from Arkansas. So, you know. I don't think they're too fucking enlightened down there either, you know?
Senator Hillary Clinton is coming under criticism for racially charged comments she's made to the press to press her case for staying in the contest. In an interview with USA Today, Clinton said she would be the stronger candidate because she appealed to more voters. Clinton cited an Associated Press article that discussed, in her words, quote, how Senator Obama's support among hardworking Americans, white Americans, is weakening again, and how whites in both states who had not completed college were supporting me. There's a pattern emerging here, she said.
The question should be, who is for you? Who will stand up and work for and fight for you, for middle-class families and hard-working families, for farmers and students and small business people and everyone across Arkansas? And the answer is Barack Obama.
You know, I know I'm just fucking being stereotypical here, but give me a break. Old Bill and fucking Hillary, they grew up in Arkansas in like the 50s. You might want to go back and look at some of those fucking racist, you know, the racist people screaming at black people, kids going to school for the first time. You might want to try to pick her head out or something like that. Give me a fucking break. You're from Arkansas. I love that shit where just because you're a Democrat, that just means that, you know, that you're not homophobic, you're not racist, or I wear blue. I just don't fucking, or that if you're a Republican, then that automatically means that you want to bury babies in the backyard, you know, unless they're fucking blue-eyed white babies. You know what I mean? Like that whole fucking, you're into the corporations and all that. They're all fucking cunts. And you know how I know that? Because I'm a cunt too, and I'm somewhere in the middle. I like to think. I definitely lean more fucking left, but I'm also a contrarian, and now I live out here in Hollywood, and I just can't fucking deal with these people out here. And that it's driving me. I don't think it's driving me to the right. It's driving me to say things on the right just to fuck with these people. Like, I love trashing Hillary out here. It's one of my favorite fucking things to do. You know, last night I was fucking around on stage and I was talking about that. I was talking about how, you know, well, Hillary's from fucking Arkansas, everybody. And they all kind of laughed. I go, you know, those fucking flyover states that you guys all shit on out here, you know? And, you know, of course it gets fucking, whatever. You know what the big thing is on this ballot is? Wherever the fuck you live, more important than whether that orange-headed fucking racist cunt or that devil woman with her fucking issues, right? She lived in Arkansas in the 1950s. Jesus Christ. Right? Give me a fucking break. Or you know what the biggest fucking thing is? Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. Is all the props, the state propositions, you know? And this is what pisses me off. So I go to this website to try to figure out California's 17 ballot measure propositions explained. All right? And all they do, they sort of explain the thing, but what they don't have, what I cannot find, is all the bullshit that is attached to each one of these propositions. Like, this shit is so fucked up, and I do not understand why this is never addressed. Why on all these propositions, like no means yes, yes means no, and then there's a little bit of maybe in there. And then if you vote for the fucking shit, there's some other measure saying that, you know, yeah, it's okay to fucking stick a baby in a snowbank for fucking, you know, 13 hours until it freezes to death or whatever, however fucking long it would take, you know? I can't find anything that says all the shit that's attached to it. Why can't the fucking ballot just be fucking, the proposition just be written clearly so regular people understand it? Yes means yes, no means no, and there's nothing else attached to it. You know, like they'll say, all right, here we go. Proposition 51 allows the sales of $9 billion in bonds to pay for new kindergarten to 12th grade and community college facilities, the basics. Roughly 6 million students attend K. You know what the fuck it is. Proposition 51 wants to address the needs by allowing the sale of $9 billion in general obligation bonds to pay for buildings and modernizing K-12 and community college. It's the first school bond measure on the state ballot since 2006. It's unusual because it's sponsored by the building industry. Okay, right there. The fact that it's sponsored by the building industry means they're going to charge us up the fucking ass. And in the end, even though they get $9 billion, they're going to come in with the fucking tab of about $15 billion. And then they're going to be like, well, we already started, so I guess we got to physically move some fucking shit from someplace else. Typically, the legislator would be the path for getting this kind of proposition on the ballot, but it hasn't been able to do so in recent years. Yeah, the fact that the building industry wants to do it, you already know this is crooked as shit. What you're voting on, about $7 billion, nearly 80, see, look at this shit. $7 billion would be allocated to the K-12 thing, and what, another $2 billion would be for the community college. I got to read all of this shit. Supporters include developers, builders, school board officials, and business groups. I don't like any of those people. All right? Supporters say, many of our schools need repairs and upgrades to make them safe for our children. That's very vague. Proposition 51 will improve education overall and help expand space at community colleges so more students can attend. Opponents say Prop 54 would add to the state debt, which is already more than $400 billion. How the fuck is California $400 billion in debt?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Jesus.
Bond measures should be passed locally, giving communities control of how the money is spent. Ah, Jesus. I mean, do you feel any closer? All right, so there's one comment. Close the border, eliminate anchor baby citizenship, and reinstitute of all provisions of Proposition 187. And let's talk about building more schools. Sorry, I used to always vote yes on these. Now Sacramento has changed my vote. I always vote no on school bonds. Quid pro quo, baby. What does quid pro quo mean? Where the fuck is it? Quid pro quo meaning. I love that everybody else is as dumb as me. A favor or advantage granted or expected in return for something. That doesn't get me any close to understanding it. Quid pro quo. Jesus fucking Christ. What am I on Law and Order here? Quid pro quo means an exchange of goods or services where one transfer is contingent upon the other. English speakers often, is this tit for tat? Yeah, Jesus fucking Christ.
Quid pro quo synonyms: barter, swap, trade. Q-U-I-D-P-R-O-Q-U-O. Quid pro quo.
Is this tit for tat? Yeah, Jesus fucking Christ. English speakers often use the term to mean a favor for a favor. Phrases with similar meanings would include give and take, tit for tat, and you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Quid pro quo. I guess that's the fucking snooty way of saying that shit. Well, let's go back to close the borders here so I can try to figure out what his fucking point is. Oh, I get it. Close the fucking borders and then I'll give money to this. All right, I see what the guy's saying. I don't know if it's right or not. All right, fuck politics. All right, you know what? I tried. I fucking tried. Oh, by the way, as I'm all over the fucking map here, did you fucking see that shameless fucking Hillary Clinton trying to pander to get the African-American vote? She's on some radio show. I just watched the clip. I had to shut it off. Forgive me. I don't know what radio show it is. But she's sitting there, she goes, and she's trying to get the black vote, and they ask you, what's something you always carry around with you? And she said, hot sauce.
What's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you getting information right now?
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce in my bag, swag?
That's us.
Really?
Yes.
Now, listen, I
yes.
just want you to know, people are going to see this and say, okay, she's pandering to black people.
Okay. Is it working?
What a the Clintons are the fucking, I swear to God. Can't you just see both of them on a used car lot doing one of those cheesy local commercials? Dude, they are the fucking devil.
Bring everybody you know, and come on out here. Ask for my wife, too. She's cooking a pot of beans, and she'll love to serve some to you.
I remember when Hillary Clinton ran for fucking Senate. After 8 years of being in the White House, the fucking Yankees had won 4 World Series. She never showed up, never said a fucking thing. And then all of a sudden she's running for fucking Senate in New York. Shows up with a brand new Yankee hat and goes, I've always been a Yankee fan.
Well, now, the fact is, I've always been a Yankees fan.
I thought you were a Cubs fan.
I am. I am a Cubs fan.
And had this big grin like, I said it. Now they're going to like me. This is how out of touch she is. She literally thinks that she just has to say, I carry around hot sauce. And all black people are going to be like, oh, shit. Oh, I can relate to that. What's she going to do next? She going to go to fucking Chinatown? I always carry around soy sauce. I don't know. You go down south, you know. I love guns and my cousins.
I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy.
Hot rods. I've always liked hot rods. Fucking shameless. This is the thing about, like, when you're at her level of fucking wealth, which is really, I don't know how you explain it. You know, when her husband, you know, had the highest office in public office, and you only, as president, you only make $400,000 or $500,000 a year. Somehow they threw their daughter a $3 million wedding. I mean, how does the math work there? They are the fucking, she is the fucking devil. I'm telling you. You know, I saw something the other day on, for some reason I was looking up Chelsea Clinton because I saw her on TV with Hillary, and Hillary was giving a speech like,
An unbelievable night. What a great campaign for the Democratic Party and for the United States of America. I know that we can finish the job of universal health care coverage for every single man, woman, and child.
She shouts. There is something unrelaxed about the way she is communicating.
Right? And I was literally going like, there's no fucking way I can listen to that voice for 4 fucking years. I just can't. I am not against a woman being president whatsoever, but you cannot sound like somebody learning how to play a trumpet. I don't give a shit. You could have all the answers to the fucking universe. There's no, you can't hear what she's saying. You know? My dog's looking at me right now like, really? If I was married to Hillary Clinton, she would have to have, you know, those surgical masks that Asian people wear when they get sick because they don't want to get anybody else sick because they're fucking courteous, or because there's like 9 zillion people that live next door. It could turn into an epidemic. I don't fucking know why they do it, right? I would make her wear one of those all the time because maybe then she'd sound like a muted trumpet, right?
There must be consequences to, snap sanctions back into place.
And every once in a while, she'd hit a couple of notes that remind me of a Miles Davis song, and then maybe I could just stop myself from strangling her in the fucking Oval Office. You know? Just reminds me like an animal that like is getting eaten alive. You know, you ever hear that? Like just like time I saw that fucking monkey eating that other monkey alive, just digging meat out of its back, and they're like, Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast, and I'm just checking in on you. Sorry, Cleo. My dog just popped up like, what the fuck, dude? What's going on, everybody? How are you? How's it going? Did you guys watch any sports lately? Oh, Jesus, what happened with the baseball there? Jesus Christ. What a difference a couple of fucking days makes. My God. The fucking Cleveland Indians up 3-1, looking to end their streak. Dude, did I call it or did I fucking call it? Huh? What did I say? Did I say it to you guys? I thought I said that this is just fitting. Did I say that on Monday? Because I think it was 3-2 by then. I said that whatever team was going to fucking win was going to look like they were going to lose, so they torture the shit out of their fans. Whatever team was going to lose was going to look like they were going to win because they take their emotions right through the fucking stratosphere and then slam them right down on the pavement. And Game 7 was literally the microcosm that the way that whole fucking game played out was basically, if you ever wanted to know what it was like to be a Chicago Cub or a Cleveland Indian fan. And the only reason why they both didn't face plant each other is because mathematically it was not an option. Somebody had to win the fucking thing, but neither team was just going to win this fucking series. That was basically it. That was the point I was trying to make the other day. They were going to torture the fuck out of their fans to the point that even if they did win the thing, you'd still have some sort of nervous fucking twitch or a tick for like 3 days afterwards. Jesus Christ, what a game. If you didn't watch Game 7, I feel bad for you as a fucking human being. You know, as it's fucking 71 degrees in Cleveland, Ohio in November. There's no reason to be concerned. Let's play ball. Oh, Jesus. Enjoy it while it lasts, people, before we get to the tipping point where this global warming thing isn't a fun thing in November anymore. Anyways, back to bread and circus. Let's talk a little baseball here. Talking baseball. Congratulations to the 2016 World Series champions, the fucking Chicago Cubs. I never thought I guess I thought I'd say it at some point when I finally saw the Red Sox win it. Congratulations to the Cubs fans. I've been there, and I only last, out of the 86 years, I only saw 36 years of it, right? Of course, whatever. The first 10, you're just a kid running around fucking sticking shit at fucking, you're poking dead skunks and stuff. You don't give a fuck about a curse, right? Some from my teen years on. I've suffered for 20 fucking years, if I'm honest. I vaguely remember 78 and, 86 was my christening as a Red Sox fan. Like, hey, Bill, this is what it's going to be like. Buckle up, right? So I've been there, and Cleveland Indian fans, my condolences. I've been there too. I've fucking been there too. But what a fucking game that was. Jesus Christ. And you knew it. The Cubs had to go out early. They had to score a bunch of fucking runs because as the game went on, it was going to tip in favor of the Indians because they had fresher arms, and everybody was fucking shitting on the guy from the Devil Rays. I don't know anybody's names, by the way. I don't know anybody's names, so just fucking deal with it. And they were all shitting on him for putting Chapman in there. I'm on the depth chart now, so I can look at the face and know who the fuck I'm talking about, right? For keep putting Chapman, dude, he's overusing him. What is he doing? It's like, dude, they've played 3 elimination games in a row. You got to use the guy. Don't you think he brought him in a little too early? I love when people say that. They haven't even coached a little league fucking team to a victory yet, and they're questioning what a major league... I mean, I guess you can question it, but... And it's always like, well, the guy who I would have put in, who didn't go in, so you have no idea what would have happened if you put him in. I'm going to hypothetically say that we then would have won the fucking game, or it would have gone smoother, so I look smarter. They had to put that guy in there, and... What was the big problem? You put the fucking guy in, instead of throwing 105, he was throwing 98. I mean, well, what are you going to do? You had to do it. Cubs go up. I can't remember what the fuck happened. There was so many goddamn twists and turns. What was it? It was like 5-1. Then like a wild pitch or whatever. And fucking Lawhead. Jesus, you want to see the funniest fucking... If you want to see the funniest... Like run of tweets. Go look at Jason Lawhead's Twitter. That fucking guy, he quit in the 5th inning. I'm just going to wait till the pitchers and catchers report. Poo-hoo, right? And then fucking 2 seconds later, wild pitch. It's 5-3. It's still a game. Oh, I never saw a guy. He was packing it in. And he said he wasn't going to tweet anymore until the catchers and pitchers reported. And then all of a sudden, they fucking tie it up. That home run. Who the fuck I got to get his name right. Where's Cleveland's depth chart? Davis, right? Was that who it was? The left fielder? Holy shit. And I got to tell you something right now. I flip-flopped so many times who the fuck I wanted to see win. Initially, I was with Cleveland because everybody wanted the Cubs fans. I saw that 30 for 30 with Bartman, and I was just like, you know what? These guys, they're not the fucking salt of the earth people that they try to make them out to be. The happy-go-lucky, take your shirt off. Maybe we win, maybe we lose. As long as we enjoy the America's pastime, these aren't who these people are. They're just like me. Every Red Sox, every Yankees, every Philly fan. I actually argued with a Yankee fan today who was going like, fuck the Cubs. That Steve Bartman shit, they ruined that kid's life. That wouldn't have happened in New York. I was like, get the fuck out of here. That wouldn't have happened in New York. It would have happened in New York. It would have happened in Boston. But you know what? In fairness to Cubs fan base, what that really was the morning, the shock jock guys. And what they did was they stirred up the lower 10%, 15% of people. As pissed as I would be, or whatever, there's no fucking way. Would you really get on a phone and start making death threats? I mean, really think about the level of mouth-breathing moron that you would have to be to take it to that level. So whatever. So initially, that's kind of, I'm a contrarian. Everyone was for the Cubs, so I was rooting for the fucking Indians. And then what happens, they went up 3-1, and I'm texting with a couple of my Indian buddies, and one of them, she's just so fucking like, when they were winning game 4, and it was like, 9-something, and he was going, dude, I hope it goes all the way up to like fucking, I hope we score 19 runs. I hope they run out of pitchers. And immediately I was thinking like, Jesus Christ, how quickly the suffering forget. Why would you wish that on him? You just want to win, right? And then he was going like, now we got LeBron. This is just the beginning. We're going to go on a run. Like they were going to, and somebody tweeted or texted Cleveland title town after 2 fucking titles. You don't even have a fucking hockey team. And the Browns, you lost your fucking team. The city treated them so shitty, they thought Baltimore was a better fucking option. All right? You're far from fucking... So then they started bugging me. I'm just a contrarian cunt. I didn't have a dog in the fight. And I was happy that be honest with you, I was happy for Cleveland or Chicago that one team's misery was going to end. Right? So at that point, then I was like, well, fuck this. I'm going to root for the Cubs, right? I got a couple of relatives, they're Cubs fans. And I got to say, fuck it. I'll go with this shit. But then I was kind of like, yeah, but I like the Indians, man. I like Cleveland. Cleveland needs a fucking hand, dude. That downtown area, it's gradually coming back. Every time I come there, it looks better. I love the Midwest. Well, Chicago's Midwest too, but I don't know. That's kind of sort of like the New York City of the Midwest. Tremendously underrated city still. But anyways, so I was still kind of hanging in there for him. And, you know what the final tipping point was? When Mike Francesca trashed the fucking Cubs for showing Bill Murray, going like, I don't want to see that. And the whole Bill Murray Daffy Duck thing, it didn't work for me. Mike Francesca, who gives a fuck what works for you and what doesn't? Your team's not in the playoff. All right? You're a non-factor. Your team's a non-factor. The funniest fucking thing, man, Yankee fans, they cannot handle the fact that other people are winning championships and having a good fucking time. And that's sort of the unwritten rule, because whenever the Yankees win a World Series, which God knows is quite a bit, like ESPN, their stock line is they'll go, and all is right in the baseball world again. It's like, aren't you guys supposed to pretend that you're kind of rooting for you're not really rooting for anybody? So anyways, fuck Mike Francesca. Mike Francesca, he's one of those fucking guys who doesn't realize that he's just as stupid as I am. He's one of those guys where he's just been doing it so fucking long that he forgets that he's just commenting on shit that doesn't matter. Dude, you're talking about a baseball game. Okay? All the shit that has happened, even in New York, fucking New York City, all the shit that's fucking happened there, the cataclysmic world events that have happened there, and the level of seriousness that guy takes himself. Oh, with his stethoscope fucking headphones. That guy, he drives me up the fuck. I've never been more happy for fucking Mad Dog when he got the fuck out of there. Jesus Christ, to be looking across from that pompous ass. Is there anything worse than the box seats fucking sports fan that is just so fucking impressed with themselves and their dumb sweaters and shit? I don't know. You give them a little more fancy a seat, and I'm telling you, it's like the space shuttle for their ego, and they just go right up over... Yeah, the Daffy Duck thing didn't work for me. Oh God. Well, maybe the Cubs ought to fucking, rethink their relationship with Bill Murray. Hey, Mike, are you the fucking Bill Murray of sports broadcasters. Fucking jack off. He's just another guy who watches sports and never gets on a treadmill. I don't understand. How can you look at all those guys in that level of shape, and when you're at the end of the game, when you go in to brush your teeth, you don't look at yourself like, Jesus Christ, can I at least eat a fucking salad every once in a while? Oh, this feels great. This feels great to totally overreact to what he said. It's a fun thing. So anyways, congratulations to the Chicago Cubs. You got the fucking goat off your back, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It was the dumbest curse ever, okay? You can't bring livestock to a baseball game, all right? You know, what you really did is you did not have a curse, the same way the Red Sox didn't have a curse. What it really was you were fans of an unbelievably inept franchise for a long fucking time. And thank God, you know, we finally got Theo Epstein. We finally got Terry Francona. We finally got the ownership that the Red Sox have, and it all came together, and we finally did what teams like the fucking Yankees, the Cardinals, the Patriots, teams like that know how to fucking win. Well, actually, can't say the Patriots. That's even modern era. The Celtics back in the day. You know, as much as I hate the fucking Yankees, like their front office, their ownership, their franchise, their farm system, it's the shit. It is the shit. You can't get mad at them for starting their own network, for being smart enough to do that. I don't hate on any of that shit. But that whole fucking thing where all is right if they win it is that goes a little beyond. But other than that, I don't begrudge their fucking 27 championships. I really don't. Having said that, we finally got the right people in place. So you finally got the right people in place. And having said that, whoever was going to win last night, the Cubs or the Indians, was an automatic one-way fucking ticket for either Theo Epstein or Terry Francona into the Hall of Fame. So congratulations to Theo Epstein, without a doubt. I mean, that guy ended the curse of the babe and the curse of the goat. I mean, he needs a nickname at this point. Something, right? I can't think of it right now, but I'm just saying, that guy at 86, what's 86 and 108? That's 186 and 194 years of suffering that fucking guy just ended. You know? He looks like a champ, too. You see the guy? He's in his 40s. He still looks like he used to be an astronaut. I mean, the guy's just crushing it on so many fucking levels. You can really see how people would try to root against him. And whatever, man. The Indians will definitely be back. I got to be honest with you. I'm still more of an Indians fan than I am a Cubs fan. But it was so fucking great. Like, seeing the look of joy on Bill Murray's face. And by the way, Francesca, like, did you not enjoy seeing that? Watching him just fucking letting out, however old he is, was all just fucking coming out. It was tremendous. So it was great. It was, what a fucking game, man. Jesus Christ, what a game. Oh, and then I forgot the fucking rain delay. And then they tie it up. They fucking tie it up. And I was like, oh my God. This is on, it's going to reverse again. Like the way everyone just kind of thought the Cubs were going to win it. And then the Indians go up 3-1. They're like, oh my God, the Indians are going to win it. Then it reverses. Then it looks like the Cubs are going to win it. And then the Indians tie it fucking back up again. You're like, fuck. I know I'm getting hyped up here, but dude, when does baseball get this fucking exciting, right? And then it starts fucking raining and they bring out the fucking tarp. That's the funniest shit. And that's one of the great, that's like the sport within the sport of baseball is the fucking rain delay. And they got to put a book. If there's never been a book put out yet about people just talking about what goes through your head as you're going through a fucking rain delay and you have to sit there and fill up 3 hours of fucking broadcast time telling your stories. I mean, that's when you got to hope that you got like a Pete Rose there. You know what I mean? You got to have some guy with a zillion fucking stories that knows how to tell a story. Dude, how great was he? He was fucking phenomenal. A-Rod was great. The Big Hurt, all of those guys, when you got like Hall of Famers sitting there, you know, just the way they break down, but nobody breaks it down like Pete Rose. Jesus Christ. You know, all the games that guy's played, all the experience he's had, and then you combine gambling on it. So he took it to a whole other level of the way he looks at numbers. I mean, the guy is like second to none with his analysis. By the way, Jason Hayward, huge fan. That fucking catch he made, I forget what game, when he leapt up and then had to reach back, and then when he he threw that strike like Dave Parker in the All-Star game. Granted, Dave threw it from the warning track to home plate. When he threw it in a second to get that guy out, kill the fucking momentum. as great as that was, the worst at bat of the fucking of the series was one of his last at bats. Dude, did you see the 2 pitches he fucking swung at? I mean, Jesus Christ. 50 Cent could have struck him out at that at bat. I mean, it was like, you know, when they take some fucking guy like 50 Cent out of the crowd. You think, oh my God, it's 50 Cent. And he just goes out and throws the ball. You're like, oh my God, he really is an artist. You got to look that up, by the way. I think I tweeted when he did that. I said 50 Cent didn't throw that ball. Curtis Jackson did. You have to see it, man. It's just like, it was, I don't know. It was like watching John Lester try to throw to first base, which I had no idea that he won't even do it. How nuts is that? That's like, it was like Chuck Knobloch, Steve Sachs times fucking 2. At least one of the videos that I saw. Thank God that he didn't. But anyways, my condolences to the city of Cleveland, man. I love that city and Municipal Stadium, all that shit back in the day that I grew up watching. Like I said, one of my relatives lived out there when I was a kid, and he kind of would always be rooting for him. And, you know, he was cool, so I would fucking root for him too. But he, of course, Red Sox first. So I always kind of had that thing with them and the Tigers. They're kind of like the surrogates if the Red Sox aren't in it. And I also like the Royals. And I like the A's. I don't know. I like the Pirates. I like the Cardinals. I like the Giants. And I like the Dodgers back in the day. So there's a lot of teams that I fucking, you know, they all take a deep second to fucking the Red Sox aren't in it. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I even rooted for the Yankees in 2001. After 9/11, I was like, all right, fuck it. I got to set this shit aside. And then the fucking Diamondbacks beat him. It's like, fuck, I should have been rooting for these guys the whole time. I would have jinxed them. So anyways, congratulations. And Cleveland, hey, man, you're next. Or I guess I should be rooting for the Arizona Cardinals because they have the longest drought, I guess, with the championship since 1947 when they were the Chicago Cardinals. And then they went to, I can't remember what the fucking lineage of that team is, but like, I don't give a fuck about them because they've lived in so many fucking cities. Like the city doesn't carry the pain. Does that make sense? Let me look up Arizona Cardinals right now. I'm surprised it didn't just pop up on my thing. You know, your computer like listens to you now. Actually, it did. Arizona Cardinals. You ever do that? You just say, yeah, fucking pumpernickel bread. What's in pumpernickel bread? You write like PU and then it says pumpernickel bread. Like your phone will do that. Like, well, what are the fucking odds that came up? You're listening to me. It's that fucking robot lady in the phone. She listens, right? She listens to, oh yeah, she's listening to you. Let's see here. Official site. No, it's a pretty sad case. You got to go to Wikipedia to find out their fucking history the quickest. Actually, maybe it isn't. All right, here we go. The Cardinals, let's see. They were the Chicago Cardinals, 1920 to 1943. They took a year off during the war, 1945 to 1959. They were the Cardinals Card Pit in 1944. I thought they had the Eagles in Pittsburgh and made the Steagles. Anyway, St. Louis Cardinals, 1960 to 1987. Phoenix Cardinals, 88 to 93, 94 to present. Arizona. So they've been in Phoenix for fucking almost 30 years. Wow. They've been there longer than they were in St. Louis. How about that? And they were in Chicago basically for 29 years. Isn't that something? So they were in Arizona the longest, then Chicago, then St. Louis. So anyways, I don't really count that fucking shit. Let's see the longest droughts. I got to see the next person I give a fuck about past Cleveland, right? Let's see. Longest sports droughts. Bing, bang, boom. Drought in sports. Longest active droughts in sports. When was this made? This was done 3 hours ago. Okay. So this should be fairly accurate, correct? So it goes the Arizona Cardinals, then the Cleveland Indians. Just give me the fucking list. All right. Arizona Cardinals. Shut up. All right. 69 years. Cleveland Indians, 68 years. Sacramento Kings, 1951. They were like the Rochester Royals, I think, or some shit like that. They haven't won in 65 years. Detroit Lions haven't won since 1957. The Atlanta Hawks, when they were the St. Louis Hawks, 1958. Then the Philadelphia Eagles, 1960. Texas Rangers, never. 1955, never won a championship. Tennessee Titans, they used to be the Houston Oilers. They won an AFL title in 1961. There's a couple more here. Houston Astros, never. 54 fucking years. San Diego Chargers, 1963, 53 years since their AFL title. And then the Toronto Maple Leafs. So if we're going to go sport by sport, the longest drought in football is the Arizona Cardinals. Baseball is the Cleveland Indians. Basketball is the Sacramento Kings. And hockey is the Toronto Maple Leafs. There you go. 69 years, 68, 65, and 49. So there you go, Toronto. Shit, these other guys, they got fucking 20 years on you. And actually nowadays when there's that many fucking teams, you only got 32 teams. To go 50 years, considering one of them's going to, win a couple, 2, 3, if not 4 or 5 over 30 years, right? It's very easy now to go 40 years. All right, Bill, I think we've had enough of the sports talk. All right, well, maybe I have too. Let's talk about flat top grills, shall we? By the way, I have not called Lawhead yet. I'm going to wait 3 days. I'm going to run into him. I'm going to give him a hug. Tell him, you still got the NBA title. You got a little hyped up there. Oh, my God, the agony. J-Law, remember that, the agony of defeat? Do you remember when the ski jump guy went off the fucking ski jump? If you look at J Lawhead's Twitter feed, dude, it's fucking hilarious. Because he's not joking. He goes off the ski jump like 5 times every game. And then he's just laying face down. You're like, is he dead? Is he dead? And then he somehow pops his head up, shakes his hair out, he puts the fucking goggles back on, and he fucking gradually walks back up the stairs again. I'm telling you, man, it's really entertaining. Anytime there's a big Cleveland game, I recommend following Jason Lawhead on Twitter. Just sit back and just watch it's tremendous. It's an amazing thing. It's a great sports book and just in tweets. It's incredible. Hey, shout out to Steve Bartman, everybody. Hey, dude, stay in hiding, man. Don't let those cunts draw you back out. All right, they had their chance to be friends with a great person like you. All right, they're going to try to ask you to go to the parade. All's forgiven. All's forgiven. It was just fucking 13 years of hell. Do you guys think he goes? Do you think he goes back? I don't think he does. He said no to 30 for 30. He kind of seems like he would just. He's a very commendable person. He was somebody that has no desire for fame in this century, which is more than I can say for myself and 90% of the other people out there. So, God bless him. Congratulations once again to all the Chicago faithful. To the other 80% that showed up, congratulations to you too. The bandwagons. My condolences to Cleveland fans. You did get the Cavs this year. You do have Terry Francona. You got great players. And, I don't know. We won one with Manny Ramirez and everybody else. There's so many, like the Phillies, Yankee fans, Red Sox fans, all should have been rooting for Cleveland because we all used your fucking CCs, your Manny Ramirez, your Jim Thomes. We all used those guys to get our championships. And also that pitcher who fucking pitched for everybody. I forget his fucking name. It wasn't Kurt Floyd. Was it, Cleo? Was it? All right, election. Bill, the election is right around the corner. A couple weeks ago, you eulogized the Great Barrier Reef. Any last words for this election? Not the country as a whole, because I don't think it'll fall apart. But I imagine this has exposed the side of our country that we've been able to keep under wraps for a while, which is that no one ever pays attention to anything unless it's an easy talking point. That everything is more fucked up than we know or would like to admit. What's the worst thing that will happen if either candidate wins? Well, if Trump wins, the worst thing is we're going to have to listen to all these European countries talk about how dumb Americans are, especially people in England. And I just want to say to them, like, you know what? What if you threw out the person every 4 to 8 years? And I would love to see what the fuck you end up with. You know what I mean? Some years it's just not a good draft. The fucking... whatever the fuck his name is, Tony Blair, that guy's been in there since Bush. Not even saying that guy's good, but you just get somebody in there and they just stay there until they die. Doesn't he have like Margaret Thatcher's job? Ugh, the original Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton? Can't even say her fucking name. What's the worst that will happen? I don't know. If Trump wasn't such a fucking jerk off. if he wasn't such a jerk off, it's really what the country needs. You need somebody who isn't a part of the fucking system. You don't, but you just can't have a guy like that in there. And then Hillary is just going to be more of the fucking same. It's just going to keep driving this country towards ruin. Dude, none of them talked about the population problem. None of them talked about the nationwide heroin epidemic. None of them talked about genetically altered food. None of them talked about fucking global warming. Maybe they touched on it for a second. They haven't said shit. They're not going to do anything. None of them are going to try to stop the banks, put them in fucking line. They're building another real estate bubble. I'll tell you what's fucking hilarious out here is they are building up L.A. like I've never fucking seen. They bought up the House of Blues right across the street from the fucking Comedy Store. They paid like $28 million for the thing. They're going to put these high-rise fucking multi-million-dollar fucking condos in there. It's like, who the fuck's going to afford to buy those things? All right? And this is the thing. After 2008, after we saw what happened, they fucking gave the houses. None of the bankers went to jail. They gave them the houses back so they could do it all over again. They're building another fucking bubble. And I'm already calling it right now. By fucking 2021, 2022 or some shit, there is going to be a bunch of empty fucking condo fucking high-rises going along the Sunset Strip. And they have knocked down the Rainbow Room, the Roxy, the Whiskey, House of Blues, maybe the Comedy Store. They're going to wipe out all of these fucking things. There's going to be nobody in those buildings. And even if they are in those buildings, they're going to have no fucking place to go because they knocked down all the cool places to hang out on Sunset Strip. It's so fucking stupid. You know, I was getting gas the other day, another place on the Sunset Strip, and this guy said, I said, yeah, you own the gas station? He goes, I wish I did. This property just sold for $14 million. And, you know, they're knocking down the two buildings next to it, and they're going to put up a fucking, 170 unit fucking, I don't know. I just don't know where all these people are going to be coming that can afford to pay. I just don't know where they're going to come from. And for what I heard, at least the ones on La Cienega, that was like oil money. Like Saudi Arabian money came in, and they don't give a fuck. I mean, they got money forever. I don't know. What's the worst thing will happen if either candidate comes in is that they're not going to stop what's already going on. And I got to be honest with you, I don't even think all the Bernie Sanders and all those types of people, you would literally need an army of those people, and then they would need bulletproof vests to fucking, that's how powerful corporations are, and that's how off the fucking rails we are. I don't know, which is why I'm trying to focus on the propositions. And I wish if anybody can find a fucking website out there that not only lets me know what I'm voting for, but lets me know what is attached to it. Like, because who doesn't want to improve the schools? But, whenever they have stuff like that, like, hey, let's clean up the drinking water, then they attach all this other evil shit underneath it. I don't know. It's very overwhelming. So it's so fucking overwhelming that you're asking a stand-up comedian what's going to happen. Or maybe you just did because you want to hear me make a fucking ass of myself. All right. All right, I actually have one question here. I usually don't read questions on the Thursday afternoon podcast. All right, Tom Steele. Yo, Billy Ginger Tits. Yes, I did enjoy the 2-hour podcast, but you're wrong about one thing. It's not illegal for women to show their titties or even go topless in most of the United States. I didn't know that. In fact, 33 states have laws specifically allowing it. However, certain towns, cities, and municipal areas within each of these states prohibits the practice, citing disturbing the peace as a misdemeanor as interpreted by law enforcement, sometimes incorrectly. If you're digging it, okay, this is the deal, dude. Like, I guess, in Africa and some of these other countries, they walk around with their titties out. I guess people don't give a shit about it. It's like not a big deal. They get used to it, like seeing a woman's legs or whatever. If women want to do this shit, I've come full circle. Fuck it. You want to walk around with your goddamn titties out? I don't know why you'd want to. I got to be honest with you. Most men should not be walking around with their shirt off. Like, this should be a rule. Okay, you want to have your shirt off. Either you're at the beach, you're in your own backyard, or you're working on a chain gang, fucking digging a trench on the side of the road. Okay, if you're actually working for a fucking living, you want to take your goddamn shirt off and risk skin cancer, by all means do it. okay? Believe me, there's a lot of guys with their shirts out there that got bigger tits than most of the women out there. So I just think it's a funny thing that, like, I just don't understand why women were just like, why can't we do it? They just have that maybe because it's the position they are in society, the way men kept them down for so fucking long, that every last fucking thing that we do, they want to do, regardless of how fucking stupid it is. You know what I mean? Who the fuck wants to walk around with their shirt off? Matthew McConaughey, people like that, people in like P90X shape, like walking around without their shirt on, which makes sense. You did the work. God bless you. I've never had a desire to walk around with my fucking shirt off. Yeah, why would you be especially past a certain age? You got to start covering up. 48 fucking years old. You don't want to see a half-naked anything. There's a few out there. Madonna kept herself in great shape. You know what I mean? There's a few people out there that they've kept themselves, you know, and in phenomenal shape. They can take their fucking shirts off. But for the most part, most people by 23, 24, by all means, man or woman, keep the fucking shirt on. I don't know. That's just one of those things. I don't know. I mean, it's like listening to somebody complain about the island in their kitchen. It's just like, don't you have anything better to focus on? All right. The hypocrite continues. So I guess, let's see. Claiming equal topless rights for men and women. Go topless. There's something here. Go topless claims that women have the same constitutional right that men have to go bare-chested in public. I really disagree with that. To try to say, like, our titties are the same as your titties. My titties can't get me a round of drinks. You know what I mean? If I show half a fucking man peck here, that doesn't get me anything. Or maybe I'm just in the wrong bars. Maybe I need to go into a gay bar there. Dude, that's a great YouTube video. Go into a gay bar and dress like a man whore and see how long you can drink for free. That would be fucking hilarious. And then at the end of the night, the guy's like, hey, man, so you want to get out of here? Be like, yeah, but I'm not going home with you. And be like, dude, what the fuck? I bought you all those drinks. Be like, yeah, well, I'm straight. Well, what the fuck are you doing here? I wanted to drink for free. Then he goes to swing at you. You just go, no means no. Right? And you get out of there. Drinking a bunch of Budweisers. Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast. And I'm just checking in on you. What's going on? How are you? How's things in your world? It's almost Friday. Today's payday, right? You're going to get that fucking check. That fucking douche is going to come by with his gold-toed socks, right? Poke his head in your cubicle. Lay that fucking envelope down, right? And he's going to be talking to you and you're not going to hear him. You're just going to be sitting there smiling. Or maybe it's a lady. Maybe it's a woman. Maybe she's coming along with her sensible shoes, you know? She doesn't have a heel on it, right? She's taking it back, you know? Tell me what to do with my body. How come guys don't have to walk around in high heels? Why do women have to ruin their feet and their fucking lower backs? You know? That's like one of those fucking stories that, like, with this stupid-ass fucking election would actually become like a national story. Some dumb shit like that. You know, complete fucking clickbait horseshit. Who gives a fuck? You know? I don't know. I don't know how people sit down and watch these conventions. My entire life, I've never been able to get through one. They are so fucking cringeworthy. It's so phony. It's so fake. The fucking smiles, those maniacal, like just totally in your head. You know, the candidates at this point, they have to be completely fucking exhausted. They don't want to answer any more fucking questions, and they still have like another 90 days of this shit that they have to go through. You know, like when a team goes to the Super Bowl, right? And you got the 2 weeks right before, and they just fucking sit there all fucking. Reporters run out of questions, and they're just sitting there. That's 2 weeks of that shit, and those players, they go nuts just doing that. This fucking comb over guy, Fuck am I yawning for? It's only 8:30 at night. This fucking comb over dude and the clam there, they just keep answering the same fucking questions. It's got to be easier for Trump. You know what I mean? He just has to just make up some shit. Listening to Trump give his speech is no different than fucking listening to me do this podcast. He might as well just be laying there in his fucking underwear, his fucking boxers, and just talking to the American people. Just whatever the fuck he's thinking, he just says it. And then like fucking, you know, whatever, 20 minutes later, somebody corrects him on Twitter. That happens to me all the time. Every time I put out a podcast, somebody goes, hey man, not trying to be a dick, but just let you know, the George Bush thing. I thought they were just making fun of George Bush dancing. I didn't know he was doing it at the police officers' funerals, the memorial service. I thought Lewis Hamilton was the upstart driver. They're like, no, it's actually Nico Rosberg. Just every fucking week I do that. But I'm just some shithead. I'm not actually running for office. Oh, you're not, Bill? Thank you for bringing that up. We didn't fucking realize it. So anyways, you truly are a fucking patriot if you could sit through those things, especially this election, because I can't fucking do it. I can't. Oh my God, Rudy Giuliani, when he fucking was going off. Jesus Christ, what the fuck was he? What was going on with him? I love how his voice kept going up, like he thought the crowd was going to go with him, and they didn't really. They kept clapping, but he kept increasing his energy and his passion, and nothing happened. At least when Howard Dean got going crazy, when he did that thing, he was reacting to the energy. At least he was fucking connected to those people. Rudy, I don't know what he was doing. Yeah, I'll tell you, the worst fucking image you could ever picture is Rudy Giuliani banging Hillary Clinton. I mean, just imagine that with his fucking, that look on his face when he was screaming about the cops. And then Hillary, when she, fucking does that smile where her eyes get all wide. All right, I'm going to ruin your fucking day. Picture her bent over with the fucking eyes all wide and that crazy smile, and hid behind like, just fucking banging away. There you go. That's on your fucking hard drive now. You can never erase that. Oh, shit. Look at me. There's another one for the MMP fucking Photoshop right there. Look for that one tomorrow on fucking, I guess today, if you're listening to it. It's tomorrow for me on the old fucking Twitter sphere. All right. And I commend anybody who really honestly sits there and watches these Republican and Democratic national conventions at this point. If you can actually sit through there. I didn't watch it, but did the fucking guy there, Bernie Sanders, did he just completely flip-flop and endorse Hillary? Is that what he did? I mean, another thing I just don't understand is how you can sit there watching somebody in a debate, trashing somebody and trashing them, saying why they think they're going to be awful. And then when the person they say is going to be awful beats them, they then just do a fucking 180 and be like, I think this person that I said sucked is going to make a great president and has my full endorsement. So anyways, let's talk about a flat top grill, everybody. Oh, do I want to get a flat top grill? I told you a few weeks ago when John Favreau, was shooting some stuff that possibly, I don't know, he might do some footage with, cooking at his place. I went over to the taping, me and the lovely Nia, and we got to hang out with Chef Roy Choi, who started the whole gourmet food truck thing. They cooked on a griddle, which is something I never did. Even when I worked in a restaurant, I cooked on a mesquite grill. I did burgers, shrimp brochette, chicken sandwich, whatever the fuck you want, right? But I never worked with on a griddle before, and now I am so fucking into those things. It's ridiculous. And I found this one on the internet. I'm not going to tell you the name of it. Just look up flat top fucking grill. There's two. It's not the Blackstone one. This is like a smaller one. It's more compact for my little LA backyard, and I'm trying to convince my wife to let me get it, man. Because we're redoing the kitchen, and so when we went to go do the stove, like the one that had the little griddle on it was just going to take up too much counter space. We have like a small kitchen area, and the number one thing was I hated there was like no prep area in the kitchen, and I hated the island. Have I ever told you guys that, how much I hate a fucking island in a kitchen? I didn't care if it can fit. In my kitchen, it couldn't fit. They just put an island in there because it was like the fucking thing to do. And you just walk. It's like having a fucking hippo that passed out on booze. And you just got to walk around. Like the worst fucking thing is whatever you're at the stove and whatever you need is diagonally across the other side of the fucking island. You got to walk all around it. Okay? Now, for all my friends around the world in war-torn countries, this is what you complain about in the United States of America. That goddamn island in your fucking brand new kitchen, right? Sorry. But anyways, so we didn't get the griddle, and now I'm already kicking myself because we ended up going with this stove. It has 6 burners. I'm like, well, there's 2 of us. Like, what the fuck do we want? Even when we have Thanksgiving dinner, I've never had more than 3 going at a time. You know what I mean? You got something in the oven, you got something else, and so you got 2 sides, maybe 3 sides, right? That's it. You don't need 6. I should have got the fucking griddle. But then I saw there's this attachment that you can get that you put the griddle on top, but it's not the same because now you're kind of controlling the heat with like the burners. So what I would do is I put one on simmer, right, or low, and then the other one I'd put it up on the cooking heat so I can do that whole fucking thing of moving the food around. You know, if it's going too fast, if it needs to chill, if the bread's browning up but the cheese hasn't melted yet, all that shit that I learned. If Favreau ever puts that shit out, dude, I'm telling you, man, I learned more goddamn shit about cooking just with that, controlling the heat and moving it around and actually looking at the stuff. I can't even, beside myself, I immediately became 15 to 20% better cook than I was, which isn't hard because I suck. But anyway, so I started watching this guy. You guys got to check this guy out on YouTube. He actually promotes the grill that I wasn't going to get. It's just a little too big for me, but it's the Blackstone Grill. And there's this guy, what the fuck does he call himself? He goes by Todd Toven, Toddtoven. And what does he call himself? Oh, the Rocky Mountain Meat Hunter. All right? He's on Twitter, at RockyMountainMeatHunter.com. But you don't need to go to Twitter unless you want to just tell him you like his videos. But you just watch this guy fucking cook. You know, I know he's hyping all these barbecue sauces and rubs and all that shit, but good for him. The man's got to make a living. But the shit that he makes is fucking unbelievable. And, dude, when you see this griddle, there's no fucking way. Just to let you guys know, they make a smaller one that I'm thinking about getting. But, dude, it's fucking ridiculous. He's making fucking cheesesteaks. He's making quesadillas. He made pizza and this other fucking thing. He's toasting up the buns. He's got his onions and peppers going. He's got elk on the grill, whatever the fuck you want. I actually watched this guy. I was so inspired by him. And in a frying pan, I took some of that elk that Rogan gave me, and I made, late at night, I made a sort of my version of an elk cheesesteak. I had some peppers and onions going with a little bit of mushroom, right? And then the meat that he gave me is more like hamburger. So it was more the consistency of hamburger. So I couldn't really lay it in. I had to kind of pour it into the bun. But I put the provolone on top. I don't like the whiz, dude. I don't like the whiz. Provolone on top. I could have seasoned the meat a little bit more. Just my salt shaker. I don't know what it is. I can't see it coming out. It comes out so finely, and I was tasting it, and I didn't want to over-salt it, but I needed to. I probably should put, like, I don't know, garlic salt or something like that in there. But little cheese on top with the mushrooms and then the peppers, and then I had the best fucking roll ever. And I made this thing like 1 a.m. You know, I was coming home from doing my spots, and I made it, and, you know, Nia sitting there going, "What are you doing? It's too late." And then I made the thing. I came walking in, and she was like, "What is that?" Right? And I gave her a bite, and then, of course, you know, she does that fucking shit. "I want one." "Oh, look who it is." "Oh, she just called, and I missed the call." Anyways, so I am crazy into doing that. So I'm thinking about getting that for the backyard. We'll see. He has already given me, you know, she knows what she's doing. She's just sort of, you know, like when you're really excited about getting something, and your wife just, you know, is quiet and nods. That means they don't want you to get it. And they're just hoping that your excitement will go away after a couple of days. But I do the same thing to her. "What's up, buddy?" You totally know how to work the angles, don't you, Cleo? Sometimes when she wants something, rather than coming over and being crazy, she just comes over and she'll just put her head on my leg and then just sort of look at me. You know, how do you resist that?